Right here, Clay. You know you're judging clowns like you're some kind of chef.
No, never.
So you bring your own barrel?
I have two. I have one in California and I have the one that's here in San Angelo. So I keep it. Yeah. And then like when it gets in the heat of battle and all of a sudden here's this bull coming and you're like, it's time to duck down. You know, you need to try it first. You need to get in it and make sure you're going to fit. And then... Woohoo! I'm still filming.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Let's Freakin Rodeo podcast presented by Boot Barn.
Today we got Matt Merritt on the pod. Man, awesome guy, great entertainer. Not an easy job he does, and he brings it every single time. It was a lot of fun getting to talk to him. He had a lot of insight that, I don't know, we don't have. From the time to been into the arena, we don't get to talk to guys like that very often, but it was sure a lot of fun. Kind of made a new friend. So thanks a lot, Matt, for coming on. We got a pretty big announcement, though.
Huge announcement.
In 2 days.
2 days.
This Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. Where can you find it, Cole?
Let'sFreakinRodeo.com.
With an N. There's no G. It's Let'sFreakinRodeo with an N.com.
10 new products. This one's included. That one's included.
We got a merch drop is what he's trying to tell you guys.
8 more products that you can't see. Merch drop.
Check us out on Let'sFreakinRodeo.com with an N. Let us know what you think. 10 a.m. Central on Thursday. Go buy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the support. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks. Let's just keep this thing rolling. Let's get into the Matt Merritt podcast.
See you there. You were heading fishing though.
I was going to go fishing.
Is that kind of how you pass the time, like when you're on the road?
Golf,
and
fishing. Yeah.
You're a pretty good golfer.
Not good. Like I broke into the 80s twice last year. For me, that was good. 87 and 84. Big deal for me.
Do you golf with like other rodeo guys or other, performers or announcers, or just go by yourself?
Oh, with other people. I go alone a lot, but just because I'm pretty bad about not being able to sit still. But yeah, I go with all the announcers and sometimes the bull riders and bronc riders or whoever. Not many timies ever want to golf with me. I don't know what that's about.
That's we can ask him the same question we asked Dale.
Yeah.
Why are rough stock people guys so much cooler than time guys?
You can make me get into that.
But welcome to the podcast, Mr. Matt Merritt. Appreciate you doing this. First question we got for you: Rodeo Clown, Rodeo Entertainer. What do you go by?
It doesn't matter to me. Rodeo Clown is the history. That's what we came from. I don't think that I'm really a clown. If you think about like a birthday clown or Chucky the Cheese type thing. I think I'm more of an entertainer, but I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings a bit. Barrel man, clown, entertainer, it don't matter to me.
We were having a pretty good debate about it. Like, what do we call him? And Cole's like, I'm just going to ask him.
Yeah, that's a good question. I get it. Actually, I get that question a lot, but I don't see a difference in one or the other than if you think of what Rodeo Clown was, okay. But if you just use the word clown, I don't think I'm just a clown. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of evolved since, literally the clown face paint. And you're still on the barrel every night in the bull riding every time you do an event. But you still got the face paint that kind of keeps the elements, but you're walking around with Boyd, chopping it up, cracking jokes. It's just, I don't know, the game has kind of evolved since 30, 40 years ago,
Yeah, I kind of have a theory, and I don't want to get too long-winded on your podcast here, but I have a theory on how the Rodeo Clown started.
That's one of my questions. I would love to hear it.
Oh, yeah. So I don't really have anything to back this up, but I have to believe that circuses were like the form of entertainment that came to cities like San Angelo and Des Moines. You imagine cities like that. So they rolled through on a train, they unloaded their tents and their animals and their performers, and like there's a guy getting ready to do the trapeze or whatever. And while he's getting ready, a clown would come out and do a little bit with a dog or some sort of little act. And I believe rodeo saw that. Rodeo was growing on its own. People were bragging about who could ride the best bucking horses and who could rope faster and tie faster. And then people start showing up to watch. And they go, hey, let's do what the circus did. We already got these guys helping. They're kind of fighting bulls and opening gates. Why don't you dress like a clown next week and just kill some time for us and maybe make it a little more fun? I'm sure it was just one guy one day that said, y'all try. And then it turned into a thing that pays my family's bills. I mean, it's kind of wild, huh?
I'm telling you, man.
If I'm right.
We were wondering, I guess, kind of in that theory, what's your theory on the first ever barrel? Like it just showed up at some point.
Tom Feller with Justin Boots, he was a rodeo clown for years. He told me they had one, he's seen wood ones.
Wow.
And like I know people made them out of tires. I've seen those. There's one, I think maybe at the Hall of Fame in Colorado Springs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Tires, like bunched together. I put tires around a wood barrel. Yeah. Mine's aluminum and padded and built specifically for my size and all that.
So you bring your own barrel?
I have two. I have one in California and I have the one that's here in San Angelo. So I keep it in Texas or kind of in my truck, and I'll leave my truck places, just like you guys bouncing around. And then the one other one stays in California, and we'll borrow if we need to. And that's not that fun when you have to borrow because you don't ever know if you're going to fit right or.
Kind of like borrowing a horse a little bit. I mean, you got your horse that fits you and everything. And
yeah, and then like when it gets in the heat of battle and all of a sudden here's this bull coming and you're like, it's time duck down. You know, you need to try it first. You need to get in it and make sure you're going to fit and how you're going to fit. Because Flint's barrel, I used it at Missoula. No, what town was it? So you guys had to help me.
No, you're good.
I think it is Missoula. Missoula. It's Missoula. It was at Missoula. I tried to borrow his barrel and I couldn't fit in it. And he had wrapped it with tape all those years and it was heavy and never took the tape off of it his whole career, all those NFRs and stuff.
Right.
And then the inside was padded really tight and I literally couldn't get in it.
Wow.
He must have been a small guy.
That's
All
crazy.
the kids wonder what you get down in that barrel, bull comes down. What is Matt doing down there? You know what? I mean, you're just
hanging on, man.
I'm picturing you got like postcards down there. You got some snacks if you get hungry. You know? So
I do have, my children have written, and I'll get you some footage of it. My children have written me notes in there. So
Really?
I have a 16-year-old and 12-year-old daughter, and the 16-year-old, she doesn't write me notes anymore. She's over that. But the little one, she wrote, breathe, hold on, love you, and all this stuff. So when the light comes in as you're rolling around, you can kind of see flashes and see those little notes they wrote. It's kind of cool.
It'd be funny to do a skit like Dora the Explorer's backpack. There's just endless items coming out of this barrel, and it's like I don't know. That would be funny, but
do you do kind of the same rodeo circuit every year, or first off, you're your own agent, you're your own manager, you do all your own scheduling?
That's right. I'm my own boss. My wife, actually, she helps me do contracts and stuff. It's crazy that it's got to the point where we're doing contracts. You know, it's awesome. It's a blessing. But yeah, I book my own work. I have some stuff already booked out to 2032. So very busy. Last year I did 195 performances in multiple countries, Australia, US, Mexico, and I was Canada, and I was right on the Mexican border for one too. So
really
a lot of going.
What?
Dude,
109.
I'm probably not booking myself out to 2030. My price will probably be up by then. Your price will be way higher
Well, that's
by
what
then.
we tell people, and it's kind of tough because I don't want to take advantage of these rodeos and like give them what I think the price should be 5 years from now. But so we kind of come to an agreement that we're going to pencil you in. I'll either give them a price, and if they agree to it, then that's good because it's usually really high. Or just let's say we'll do it for at least what we would now, what's fair price now, and then we'll punt and we'll say things are more expensive or less expensive, so we'll work a price out later.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but it kind of seems like you've been doing this in the entertainer world, in the rodeo world, like you've made some big leaps and bounds. And is that just because you've gotten in with the right people? Have you gotten better? Like what do you think about it?
I think a lot of it for me was it's all circles that you run in. And so I did PBRs for a long time, and I still do. I'm doing the PBR World Finals in just a couple weeks at AT&T Stadium, Kid Rock Rodeo, get to do that. Awesome. But COVID kind of some things happened, and COVID and PBR was definitely Coliseum, so they weren't having them. So started taking more and more rodeos, and then as you take them, and then the summer is definitely rodeo time, not PBR time. So I just started taking more and more, and then people get to know you, and you're running in the circles of rodeo, and they find out you're available. And look, I'm not trying to say I'm great or anything. There's just really not many people that are clowns. Name 10.
I don't think I could.
I can name 4.
Yeah, there's very few of us that even do it. I want to say, I bet. I mean, we could probably call PRCA, and I know how many is typically in the PBR. I would say there may be 100 on planet Earth. It's crazy.
That actually is nuts.
That is crazy.
And so when are you having to register with the PRCA? So are there PRCA clowns, or can any Joe Blow who's got a good act?
You have a card, right?
Yeah, we have to have a card, and we go through a process. So to become a PRCA card holder, I have to apply. They come watch me. They send like a a person out to watch you. And the same for announcers and acts too. And they'll watch you at 5 rodeos. And then after that, you must work 5 PRCA rodeos on a permit. Once you've completed that, like I guess the judges and other people working will fill out a form on your performance.
Yeah.
And then they'll make you an actual member. And then you're a member basically forever. I want to say there's a new rule for bullfighters where if someone writes a negative letter against you, maybe 3 times, like 3 strikes, they can look at pulling your card and make you go through the process again, but not for clowns and announcers and acts.
So when did you decide that you wanted to? So sorry, you were PBR. What years was that?
Well, I mean, I've had my PRCA card since 2013. I did my first PBR in 2004, and I started doing this in 1999. So I'm 43. I've been doing it since high school my whole life. There were times where it didn't pay the bills. So I had jobs, but I mean, this has been my life for a long time.
But I stopped you before you were trying to get into more of your story before we started recording. I was like, you gotta hold on, we gotta get this on camera. But
I'll just give you a whole rundown. You can edit it out or cut it however you need to. 1990s, I'm in high school. My mom's dating a guy who's an announcer. So my buddies are riding bulls. I live right down the road over here in Heflin, Louisiana, where the DeMosses live now. That's where I'm from. Actually, Heath's wife, Hallie, she lived a mile and a half from me, and her dad had an arena and a church camp, like a cowboy church camp. He had ridden bulls back in the day. So I'd hang out there, hang out with all these rodeo guys, and then mom's dating one. So I'm like, cool, I want to do that clown's job. I think that'd be fun. It looks cool. Never had interest in other stuff. Kind of toyed with bullfighting for like 10 minutes. It felt like, they fight, flight, or freeze. I do all 3. I never did good at that. So bullfighting wasn't my thing. Bull riding, I got on, but never bought equipment, never cared about it. Couldn't ride a horse because I'd never been exposed to it. Get into the clown thing early. My first time to be paid, really, Harrisonburg, Arkansas. I think it's Harrisonburg. I forget the exact name of the place, but I made $400. So $200 a night. And I remember, this is like 1999, I have $400. I didn't think about the fact that I probably spent $280 traveling, but I got $400, and I'm thinking, I bet my teachers don't make this. So I got the bug like all of us do, let's freaking rodeo. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going now, man. I'm hooked. So I start booking more and more work, and then I end up in Virginia, in Galax, Virginia, and that's where I met my wife for the first time. Never really communicated with her. We kind of just in passing, and I end up, like I said, you get in these circles, end up working for this guy in North Carolina, and end up meeting her a few more times over a few rodeos, and I wasn't even clowning all of them. I would go like work back pens, set up bleachers, portable arenas, the whole story everybody's did. I'd help them haul the animals and just worked, and then they'd let me clown here and there. So I finally get kind of pretty serious about clowning, doing 25 events a year maybe, and meet her, and then I just stay in North Carolina. So my past just went there. So now we're young, we're in our early 20s, we get married. Let's see, kids start happening. My father, he had lived with us for about a year until he passed away. He had been really sick. So I got this really, really involved life in North Carolina, away from everything in Louisiana that I'd had. I ended up just falling down into the Seaber bull ridings, and then the PBR started having all these other tours. So that was perfect. They're out east. I'm working them. My style fit. I used to be much different too at rodeos. I had a 48-foot trailer and a car and a dog act and all this stuff you had to deal with. And I start finding out, I can do it this way through PBR. I can bring a backpack and a mic. I can entertain. And I just learned to kind of change my way. So I get in there. In 2004, I get my first PBR. So growing, getting better, learning, times are changing. Flint's creating this whole thing that never had existed before, right? Like this entertainer position. So now there's spots for me because people want that type of thing. So I just keep rolling, keep going, get very established. I'm doing all the PBR velocity tours. I'm doing a lot of big rodeos. And then 2019, I get diagnosed with cancer. So I don't know, you didn't know that yet, Ty. So there's a bomb.
That's what he told me before.
Dropped the bomb on you. That's what he was trying to get to. A lot of people know we didn't even really talk about it when I got it because it was this word, man, like that word's so powerful. it scares you, you know, like you think it's end all be all, it's terrible. And we found out that it's a disease that they make medicine for, and it's okay, you know. But the word gave so much power, so I didn't even want to tell people. I didn't talk about it, didn't do anything. And at the time I was doing a podcast, it was called Roadcast. I was interviewing interesting people on the road. I thought Boyd was one of them. I interviewed the first guy ever to base jump. He jumped off a mountain in California called El Capitan. It was like this. My goal was to interview fun people that others wouldn't meet. So I quit doing that because I'm sick and we're going through the chemo thing. And I did radiation and chemo. It was here. I don't know if you can see my scar or not, but it was right here on my neck. They removed a bunch of lymph nodes and the bad spot, and they told me I needed chemo and radiation. So I go through that part, and we're in Bangor, Maine. It would have been March, 2020. And I was so sick, my wife had to drive me everywhere. They wouldn't let me fly. Luke Kaufman was driving me, and my wife was driving me to PBRs. And I'm drinking this stuff to keep me where I can work. I don't have any facial hair. I'm real thin. And I couldn't eat much because my throat and all the radiation. But we're in New York City on the way to Bangor. And I'm like, let's eat. I know you want to eat. I hadn't really thought about her much, it felt like, because I was sick and everything was about me. Mm-hmm. So we pull up there right pretty well beneath the Statue of Liberty, just across the harbor, and we get some food. And that's like Wednesday or Thursday. And we go to Bangor, we're in the hotel, and I want to say it was that Sunday we had a performance, and we wake up, and the news is blowing up. This disease has hit. And it's called COVID, and it's killing everybody. You guys remember. Everybody's going to die. They're bringing in ships in the harbor in New York City. It's the epicenter. And like, I just put my hands over my eyes, and I'm crying. I'm like, this is it. I've been through all this stuff. I've done all this medicine, been around the world, worked so hard, and this stupid disease from somebody eating a bat or whatever. You don't know, it's just so much information. It's going to end me. I can't believe it. Anyway, that was a really crazy time for me. I didn't work for 8 months after, and I had struggled through the whole chemo and radiation deal and never missed an event. And now I can't work. So now PBR can't go. Rodeo can. I pick up more and more rodeos. I had Fort Worth that year and didn't get to go to it. It canceled, as you would remember. And took off, and my career took a path, I guess God or whatever, got a hand on it, and you just end up where you're supposed to end up. So no, that was a long story, but
it's pretty short story for that much information. I mean, I'm trying to gather it all. So how did you find out that you had cancer?
Had a lump here in my neck. When a guy gets sick, your lymph nodes will swell up. And so I thought that's what it was. And if you're like me, you get sick, but I'll be all right. Mm-hmm. I went to a doctor. I think I was at Reno Rosser's house once, California. I went to a doctor there, and they said it was maybe a virus of some sort and antibiotics. So time passes, and I don't know if the knot went down or I just imagined that it did or whatever. It was zero pain or anything. I went to another doctor. I want to say they said the same thing. And then I went to my home doctor. It was within a year. This thing's there. And she says, it's probably cancer. And I'm like, you're crazy, Well, then she gives me a referral to go get a biopsy. And when I pulled up, it was in Winston-Salem. It says cancer center on the side. And that's when I was driving in, like, could be something to this, I guess. I'm here, And he sticks a needle in it, and he just literally goes around the corner, comes back and says, yeah, it's necrotic. It's squamous cell carcinoma is what he called it, I think. Forgive me if I said any of that wrong, but yeah, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. It floors you when you hear it, but honestly, kind of a good thing. Like, I've always been a follower, a Christian guy. I'm sure I've made as many mistakes as anybody else, but it puts things in perspective. You quit arguing with your wife about how the green beans are stacked in the cabinet, start.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
And obviously now you're healthy, clean, remission, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll go to my 5th year appointment in May. So whatever the day is, mid-April, here in a few weeks at home. And if I'm clean, that's full remission. So it's 5 years since.
I didn't know any of that. That's insane.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, man. My kids are 16 and 12 now, but knock 5 years off of that. They're 11 and 7. Yeah. You don't tell your kids this stuff, like they know dad's sick. I'm laying in the bed 16 hours a day on those strong chemo days, but we didn't talk. And I think they probably knew or heard it, but Man, you just don't say it. You don't give it power.
So what was
Stetson
it?
Wright, I mean, Stetson Wright said he truly believes everything that comes out of your mouth, he puts into existence. I mean,
I believe it.
What was it like? You're working events in the heat of chemo. Tell us about some of those moments.
I was proud of myself. I mean, that's one of the more proud things I've ever done. Like, just I've never felt like a tough guy because I'm sharing the room with Frank Newsome's and Shorty Gorham's and Cody Webster and Dusty Tuckness. These are men, like alphas. And so here I am, like the little clown, but I did that. I was proud of it. So that was cool. But it was like, I had this stuff I drank because the radiation basically sunburns you and they could pinpoint it. I had to wear a mask and it would pin me to this table. Like, remember when you would put your mouthpiece in boiling water as a football player?
Yep.
You bite it and it molds to you. That's what they did with this mesh mask, and it holds you down to the table. So they could pinpoint it right there, but it burned my inside of my throat. So eating sucked and hurt. And I had this miracle mouthwash, I think they called it, and basically numbs you. So I just leave it on the announcer stand. I'd run up there and take a sip every now and then. And like, I remember Knoxville, Tennessee, doing a PBR there. It's a 4-hour drive from our home, and Luke Hoffman drove me because there's just no way I was going to drive there. And then I slept. I skipped production meetings and everything, and I would just go to the locker room, in my own locker room, and get dressed because I didn't want to catch anybody's colds or anything. And I'd go out in the arena. I'd take a bunch of prednisone or dexamethasone steroids. The doctor prescribed it. It wasn't like I was psycho out there just popping pills, but I'd take some steroids to wake up a little bit. I'd knock out a 2-hour perf and do a good job. But yeah, after it, I'd lay around a minute.
Hey y'all, we're going to take a break from our podcast to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Boot Barn. As y'all know, there's a lot of things in this world that change, but the cowboy way isn't one, and Boot Barn understands that better than anybody. And I've learned that Boot Barn doesn't just sell boots and jeans. They support the people who feed America, protect America, and build America. And they're proving it every day. Boot Barn sponsors over 600 rodeos across the country, from small town arenas to the biggest stages in rodeo. I tell Cole all the time, look good, feel good, rope good. So I don't care if you're a videographer, a PRCA cowboy, a weekend warrior, a worker, rancher, or you just want to look good at your job next week. Boot Barn is your one-stop shop to get you looking and feeling right. And when the rodeo's coming to your town, check out a Boot Barn location near you. With over 450 stores nationwide from coast to coast, they'll get you covered. And for all my online shoppers, you can get to sharp and looking good at bootbarn.com with an easy-to-navigate website. And you know what we say? Let's freaking rodeo. Now let's get back to the podcast. Thanks, guys, for listening. It's cowboy tough, like Leon Coffey said.
Cowboy tough.
I got to work with Leon. What a legend. I worked a couple events with him. We went to Robb Elementary, the school that they shot up down there in Uvalde with him. And
Really?
It's a crazy memory for me because he and I went, and the kids, this had been well before that happened, but they gave us they had like white aprons, and they wrote Robb Elementary loves and my name and his name on his, and they gave us bandanas and t-shirts, and I have it hanging in my man room. I keep everything, and it's always been a cool memory for me. And then when that school, that tragedy happened down there, it was wild to think that I've been there, and with Leon, a legend,
What's the odds of you going to that exact school?
Weird
way
connection.
Before that happened. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, we got to interview Mr. Coffey 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And that was a lot of fun.
He's cool.
Yeah,
ain't he?
he's cool. Man, you see his wrists. I mean, it looks like he's got golf balls in them things. I mean,
Yeah, he's
just
He was a funny guy, but also real serious and like
like the way he talked, like
Like
you
the
couldn't
way-
help but just listen, like you're sitting on the
Yes.
edge of your seat.
he commands a room. Like I remember that we would walk in the schools because when we clowned the event together, it was quite different because we both turn on our personalities. But like I wasn't as good as him walking into this school and gymnasium or whatever. I don't know if you guys have ever done talks at schools, but he walk in there
I tried to
and he just
run.
goes like this, and like he could just get this position and everybody's staring at him, and he goes. And he'd start like building it, and all the kids would just start and they're like just crying, laughing. He's done nothing. And I'm like, I'm watching magic here, like
it's a
artistry.
perfect almost impersonation. I can imagine him doing that.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
did. He was just, but that's the kind of stuff. I think those guys probably had to work and I did a little in the early 90s when I started kind of the old school stuff because that was all you could do. Microphones weren't as good. You imagine those guys clowning, trying to entertain. Imagine this audience here in San Angelo 40 years ago when you didn't have a mic as a clown. They'd be like, hey, to the announcer, hey, I want to tell a joke. And then he'd have to relay it. That's how they did it.
Also, though, they weren't dealing with cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
That it can't be easy. I mean, I think about it. I'm during the calf open. You look up there. There's a lot of people sitting over there on their phones. You know, I mean, that's your job right there is entertain, and you're dealing with the attention deficit in 2025 in America is crazy.
Yeah, like TikTok. Boom! I don't even want to finish this video, and it's 2 seconds long.
Literally,
I talk about that all the time because that's the biggest challenge I have. I have my phone right here in my lap. It rang a minute ago, and my mind immediately goes, I wonder who that is. And that's just a personal connection with some human that's trying to call me, much less my wants. Like I love the Chicago Cubs. I have an app and I can keep up their scores, their lineup, what's going on that day. So think about all the humans that are sitting in these audiences and the things they must like, and they're looking at their phones. So it's very difficult to entertain people. And I don't like telling jokes anymore because it just feels like an actual joke with a punchline, because you can almost guarantee there's some people out there that have heard it. And it's just like, they just don't listen to you.
195 performances a year, too.
That was a lot. I'm taking some weeks off in 25.
You are?
Yeah, I'm taking about at least 3 weeks off on purpose. And then the ones that I don't fill just because there's not a lot of events.
Do you, to get into the space, have to just... I mean, clearly it's a growing process. You get more confident with your jokes, your skits, whatever you do. But is there a point when you just like embarrass yourself and you're like, I don't even care anymore? So now you're just like, you have no conscience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. I've been in it long enough, 25 years. I remember starting, and I wrote my jokes down on a notepad in baggies. I wore baggies, you know, and I would pull my baggies out, and I would have like this little. It would tell me what my next joke was going to be or whatever, and I pull it out. I'm looking. I can remember working with this announcer, and he goes, "Hey, I'm out there. What are you looking at?" I go, "Oh, absolutely nothing." Well, that was funny because everybody thought I was making a joke about looking at nothing in my pants, which I literally was just trying to get him off my back. Like, I'm not looking at my jokes. Like,
yeah,
so stupid.
Which but it
ended up being pretty good though.
It was kind of funny.
But it's interesting about every rodeo, the clown and the announcer. Do y'all is that rehearsed?
No.
Is that off the cuff?
Yeah. Well, there's bits, right? Like I have some things that I do, like often, like I'll tell them I have a dance act that I've been doing for years, and it's a series of songs and a bit of a script, but it's kind of loose. And it's like, hey man, if the last bull rider of the night gets a re-ride, or the second to last bull rider of the night, the ambulance has to leave with him and we're waiting for him to come back, and the show caller says, just give us 7 minutes. Well, we know that act is at least good for 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. So kind of just go to it. You guys know kind of know where I'm going. Gotcha. So I'll tell the announcers those kind of things. But most of it, I don't like to script. I want to be, because that goes back to the phone thing. You know, if it's not scripted, then people are more apt to want to say, oh, what's he going to do next? Yeah. They want more of it instead of less of it.
Wow. I can just imagine the like
you fail a lot.
Angelo Rodeo, I mean, right here, I mean, how many people come to the Angelo Rodeo?
5,000.
5,000 people.
Repetitive clients.
Repetitive every night.
A lot of times you're seeing the same people. Exactly. I mean, yeah. But I remember coming here when I was a kid, because that's what clowning was before. Tell me if I'm wrong, but before it was the same act's going to come into the rodeo and they're going to perform for the whole rodeo. Mm-hmm. If there's 12 performances, they're going to do the same act 12 times in a row. Because I remember watching it even here at San Angelo, the same act every single night.
Yeah.
So it would be like when people went to go to the bathroom at the concession, because like you said, it's a lot of repetitive people. Now it's different. You don't see the guys do the same stuff every a lot of times.
There's an act is valuable. So valuable. John Harrison's horse act. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Like unreal good. I mean, I could watch it a million times in a row. Uh-huh. You think Troy Lurwell's motorcycle back in the day, he was probably here at Angelo when you were a kid. All that, there's a lot of great ones, but also acts, the reason I don't do them very much, bigger acts like that, a lot of things. Your props can fail you. You're counting on a music director and an announcer to say something at the exact time, and it gets repetitive if you're at certain events. So I'm not at all knocking acts. I'm just saying they don't fit me really good, because I just, and I'm lucky enough that I've done so many PBRs and so many East Coast events where I can just go do basically stand-up comedy.
Just whatever you want to do.
Crowd work is what they call it, you know?
Wow. Plus the Cowboy Channel, you're talking about repetitive people watching you.
Oh, yeah. They'll hammer you on there.
Oh, buddy. They're sitting on their recliner and watching you do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
You think that Cowboy Channel has helped you in the clown industry, or
I'm a fan.
You're a fan of it.
I'm a fan of it. There's people that don't like it. To me, it's like having a big commercial for what I do.
But I'm thinking too, you have your best act and you're premiering it, and then like it's out there and it's out there forever.
And that's fine with me though, because I feel like I don't always do everything. Every little bit that I come up with is not always great, but it gives me a reason to try to come up with something new. And I do.
Makes
I
you
come
better
up with as much as I can. I'm friends with one of the guys that plays for Savannah Bananas. Actually, he plays for the Firemen. They just moved him over. And I look at what they're doing. I mean, the bits that it's not crazy. It's like they're a bunch of sing-alongs and stuff. But guess what they're doing? They're selling out stadiums. And there's this big thing about, is a clown an entertainer? Is he just leading people and sing-alongs, or is he really doing acts? And to me, I feel like if the crowd's showing up and they're having fun, that's all that matters. Like, is George Strait sitting on a stool good, or has he got to have the band behind him?
I bet people are going to still come watch him on that stool.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's just what you like.
I have a good question here for you. There is a balance that you and the announcer have. There's this chemistry and there's a self-awareness that y'all have of, hey, this is a competitive rodeo. The stars are out tonight. Let's lock in. Or sometimes it's, not many star-studded guys entered up. Not horses aren't bucking very good. People are missing their calves, their steers, etc. What is that balance for you? Like, are you having to, hey, let me take a step back during this moment, or?
I absolutely do. And actually, I nearly stepped on top of Ty Harris's. I don't know if you've heard of her, or him, excuse me.
You talking about the 7 flat?
Yeah, here in Angela the other day. I'm not paying attention. I'm on something funny, side down rope, and then the group you're in. What do you call it? The group of guys that ran with you.
The set or whatever.
Yeah, that set was a good, like, star-studded, right? Yeah. Well, your hometown, man. Like, you're a prophet here, and I'm not looking. And Boyd catches me because I'm about to say something funny, and he goes, "Hang on just a minute, we got one coming." I'm
not gonna lie, I don't do this in other places, but over here I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Matt to pause and Boyd to go.
yeah, no, and you should
here because they just get so excited.
You need to drink that
job too.
Boyd does a great job of building me up, and so
iconic sound.
His voice, man, it gets me going. Like, but I don't. It makes me.
I don't want to step on anything. Like, it's sacred. Like, rodeo's sacred to me. It's not my job to ever interrupt the rodeo, and I think I do a great job of that. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm going to mess up here and there and get carried away, but I don't want to be talking during your run. I don't want to be waving at people during a good run. Now, there are some events that you'll go to where there's not a lot of good talent, or maybe the animals are a little difficult to get past, or whatever the situation may be. So I think we all need to remember that we are a novelty. I wish we were baseball, football, basketball, and we're closer to a novelty still. We're growing so good right now. But the fan matters, and you do need to care about them and give them a show. But you don't also, at the same time, there's a fine line, and don't take away from a good run.
And I think we all, I'm not saying you, but like, especially rodeo competitors, need to remember we're all on the same team.
Yes.
Every single person that is going to the rodeo wants fans to keep coming. Whether it's you, whether it's Boyd, whether it's me, ropers, saddle bronc riders, bull riders, bareback riders, we all want packed out arenas, coliseums, stadiums, and we want them all leaving there thinking, man, I can't wait to go again.
Yeah.
Is there any tickets left for tomorrow night?
For us to have money, we have to have fans and sponsors. And sponsors don't show up unless people that spend money with sponsors show up. Mm-hmm. So fans are probably paramount, right? We got to care about them, but at the same, it's San Angelo's so different. You're asking me here too, where it's like you could not have a clown and be just fine. Mm-hmm. Then you go to Madison Square Garden in New York City, you're going to need me.
Yeah.
They're just going to want to drink beer out of their shoes and do all that fun stuff.
He said, you're going to need me.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, like Utah, they're just so keyed in on the rodeo. There's different places which we all see it, but it's interesting. It's a hard job that you have to do too, is staying so aware, focused on what you're doing, entertaining the crowd, but also staying aware with what's going on with the rodeo, the pulse of everything. Like, I don't know, you got to have a lot of feel.
The American last year, I did 16 3-minute breaks during the American. And that's not including, your calf turns around the box and I have to fill for that or whatever. But so challenging to do a break like that over and over and over again, and be fresh and new and entertaining, because you can only clap them so much. You can only sing along so much. And believe me, I use as much of that stuff as I can because it's fun. But you have to, it's just coming up with some content, you know.
Can I tell you the one thing I don't like?
Come on, preach it.
The daggum kiss cam, man. I'm sick of the kiss cam, bro.
Yeah, it's gross. I think a lot of places do it because, like, so the cameras or the screen are sponsored by someone. So the goal is to get focused on there. And we in meetings, they ask us all the time, anybody got any ideas? Some new cams? You do the muscle cam, the Rip lookalike cam, the Simba cam with the kids.
And those kind of just came along the last couple of years, huh?
Yeah.
It seems like.
And I think it's more of a sales thing. Like they're trying to sell, like a dentist in town sponsors the Kiss Cam.
I think it seems like a pretty easy sell for a rodeo too, because the Kiss Cam's been around for so long. Everybody knows what it is. It's pretty iconic.
All your listeners, we need viewers and listeners. We need some more cam ideas. So send them in.
Comment, comment, subscribe.
What is the best cam? Like when you're talking about Kiss Cam, I mean, what are the other staples? Give me two.
Kiss Cam, I love the Simba Cam. Hold the baby.
Simba Cam.
I love the baby.
I've seen Flex Cam. In Australia, I've been over there a bunch. They call the mullet, the Fireball sponsored them, and they called the mullet the Fire Flap, and they did the Fire Flap Cam.
That's the best freaking mullet.
Yeah, that one was pretty fun. I'm trying to think of the other ones we've done over the years. I've done a couple lookalike deals, but it's really hard because like at hockey games, I'll usually have a person in the booth helping. So I'll find someone, and then I'll run over here and tell them, hey, see if you can Google image this. And it's hard because they can't just throw it together. Really quick.
Love when y'all will go up with fans in the stands and there's like conversation going on, because sometimes you'll get in their stale or whatever, but then sometimes you get some characters, man.
Oh, I've had some great ones over the years, man.
What's the wildest thing you think you've heard someone say? Like you have a mic to his face.
There's one that I don't know if it's wild, but I'll never forget it. Fort Worth, and this group of old men are sitting together in the handicap section. And you know the Dickies Arena. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of a fenced off little thing. And they're old. I'm talking, they're pushing mid-90s or at least over 85 for sure. You can't tell for sure, but older guys. And they're having a good time. And I just spot them. I'm watching all night, looking for people. And I go up there and I'm going to give this guy the fan of the night. And I said, there's 3 buddies, man. Like, it'd be like, us 3 in 50 years sitting together, 60 years. And he says, have you ever had, a crowd of thousands of people stand up and cheer for you? He looks up, he's sitting down. He can't hardly stand up. He goes, well, hell yeah. I said, why? Because I played baseball for the Texas Longhorns. And place erupts. It's on TikTok. I think the PRCA posted it.
We got to find that.
It was the coolest guy. He was just.
You just had that.
He just struck me and he was just cool as a cucumber.
Well, hell yeah.
Hanging out with his buddies up there, and
played for the. Well, I can't do that because I'm an Aggie.
You can't say it. Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. It'd be a way cooler joke you would have just made if you would have said he played for the Aggies.
I could have just.
He would have probably heard too much roaring. If he was an Aggie.
He would have handled exploded, dude.
Yeah, but it was just that was a good memory, and I've had lots of. I've had moments where there was a guy. I remember where we were. He had cancer, and his wife slips a note to me as I walked by and told me his story. And I kind of intermission in the locker room and got to read it. And instead of being funny, I was sentimental, and I told his story to the crowd, gave him a buckle.
That's sweet.
Some kids with Down syndrome and stuff that I remember that just had this genuine. They were so happy. Like when you can make somebody's day like that, and it gets contagious. Like the whole room realizes this isn't some kind of pandering thing. This is real. Like somebody's day's being made. That's the moments I cherish.
You have a very crucial job because you have the power to give somebody the spotlight. And like you said, for the people, you can make it sentimental. It can change somebody's life, really. And then also on the other end of it, you could put the microphone in a drunk person's face, and they could say
F word
on national television. It's quite.
I've had some pretty bad ones. I've had some people like at PBR right now. We're doing pretty often the World Finals ticket giveaway, all the stops that we make, and so we do Cowboy Karaoke and start the song, finish the lyrics.
That was fun.
So it's fun until you're standing in the aisle because that's the only place to do it. And then some drunk guy is coming or going to the bathroom, trying to move you out of the way. And, I got to pee.
I thought you were going to say you spilled a beer on you or something.
No, I've had all that
Those are funny. You don't ever, he never sees these things.
Yeah, you're out back.
Sometimes I do. It's shocking the songs that people won't know. And you're like,
That's what I was
This
saying.
18, 20, 19, 20-year-old kid, you don't know Amarillo by morning?
Yeah, I know.
Are you
It's
sad?
he knows Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, but he don't know.
See, I would be on there, wouldn't know that one.
I just learned. I'm daughters, so
Oh, 2 daughters.
yeah.
But the people who
Cheyenne, where's the Pink Pony Club at?
the people, she probably don't even know what that is.
I hope not.
The people who don't know the most famous songs, those are the most funny. Like, those are the
Yeah, when
funniest
It
they
is
ones.
funny when they don't know.
Hey, at Cheyenne, I did the PBR at Cheyenne last year, and Cody Sosby, a fellow clown, he's there working the rodeo, but he's in the audience, and I get him to, act like he's part of the audience and come in and do the sing-alongs. That was so funny because I don't know if you've seen him. He's kind of like Rump. He can do the whole almost Chris Farley-esque, real kind of tubby guy that's moving fast. Like he was funny, man. We did some rock and roll. I don't remember exactly what song, but it was a great sing-along.
That's pretty good.
The first time you could remember you made a crowd erupt with laughter.
First time I remember something that I did that made a real difference in an act I used to do.
Mhm.
So everybody kind of had a gunfighting act back in the day, and the guy that helped me get started, he helped me with this act. You go out there and there's somebody's messing with your wife, right? And you're going to have to fight him. And the guy comes out and gunfight's about to go down. And I'd done that act for a while. Ends up your butt explodes. He shoots you in the butt, and that's sort of the end of it. You guys have seen acts like that.
Mhm.
But I was like, I need something. I can find something in it. And I'd watch The Matrix. So I do a deal where I pull my pistol out and get ready to shoot the guy. And then right as I do, slow motion music comes on, and you shoot him, and the guy, he's like, he dodges a bullet one way, and then I shoot again, he dodges the other. So I shoot him like 3 times, and he's got a blanket on, like a serape, and he pulls it up and watches the bullet go between his legs, and then ring, ring, and hang on a minute. Hello? Hey girl, what's up? On the phone or whatever. And I go, oh, hey, it was your mom, to the announcer. And then the slow motion music would come back on, and I would finish shooting at him until I ran out of bullets, and then he'd shoot me in. But it was just a stupid thing that I did to the act, but I can remember being so proud.
Oh, your mom joke.
Yeah. And your mom joke, and nobody had done the slow motion gunfight thing. So it was I just remember that being
You
cool.
get edgy with it. I mean,
little.
Your jokes, I mean, they're really not, they're not bad, but they're edgy.
I don't want to tell anything that you can't see on TV or hear around, like I would be ashamed to say in front of my kids or my wife, but you don't have to. I don't like super cheesy stuff. I just want to be a real human.
Right, exactly.
Do
you think, so I feel like somebody that's like balls to the wall, always cussing, doing this, doing that, it'd be hard for them to walk that line. Yeah. You've got 2 daughters, so I don't know, when I'm around you, when I see you, it feels like you're always the same type of guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes it easier for you when you go out there and entertain and clown, because you don't have to draw it back? You're just
I hope so. I don't cuss a lot, but I will, and I hope I never do in the arena. I have on purpose said hell and damn in the arena before, and I feel like, it makes you feel nervous when you say it, but I've never said anything beyond those words.
Yeah.
But no, I don't cuss a lot. I'm guilty of it though. And I know guys that cuss though, and they pretty bad, like announcers, and they don't.
Yeah. I guess there's good at separating the two.
Hey, one time, I won't say any names because guy's an active announcer now, and I won't say where I was, but it was on TV, and his mic, something was wired funny, and he sets it down. And while the mic's down, he says, somebody effing get that figured out. And F-bomb. Well, whatever the settings, the television audio it picked it up. Like you didn't hear it in the house. And, of course, he's like, it wasn't me. That's what he said. Well, it ended up being him. He got in a little trouble for that one.
Did he? Yeah. Was that Cowboy Channel?
It was a long time ago. It was before the Cowboy Channel existed. It was actually on a public broadcast channel, so a bunch of kids in hospitals heard it.
No, that's atrocious. That is
But,
atrocious.
I mean, we're all guilty of saying bad words, right? Like, I'm not throwing rocks at anybody, but it's not the time for it when you've got a microphone near you.
Not good. What's the coolest place you've been, best interactions with fans, just the best country-wise?
Townsville, Queensland, Australia is one of my favorite places. And you know how it's wonderful. It may just be that it's Australia and it's so far from home and you just get worked up that I like it that much more. But it's really neat because the audience completely surrounds you. So the buck and shoots are at the precipice of what the audience can see.
Mhm.
They can't see a single bit of the back pins. They can only see the front of the buck and shoots, and as they look down, so it's a complete Coliseum dome deal, and they're very loud and very exciting. And I've been there a bunch of times. I love it there. But then a guy named Ricky West in Fife, Alabama. It's a tiny little town. I bet there's 3,000 people in the whole town, and he had a bull riding in his backyard with 2 buck and shoots once that I went to. Probably 3,500 people around this little circle, and it was ranked. Like, I'll never forget it. It was the most fun. And then there's nights in San Angelo and Fort Worth and AT&T Stadium. And, I've been Madison Square Garden this year. I've done all these places, and it's like, sometimes it's Fife, Alabama, or whatever that's good. It's just about the people, man. It's about the vibe, right?
Yeah, the more rodeos I go to, it can be hit and miss, right? It's like, man, that was one of the funnest rodeos I've been to in a long time. Or, man, that was kind of stale, you know? And so, do you feel like the majority of your rodeos are, hit and miss, or do you feel like majority, which is not, it doesn't have to do with you, it has to do with the crowd. I mean, do you feel like majority of the time?
I feel like it has to do with me, though. I think that, I think it's sort of my job to
bring that,
try to take people, like right now, if this was my home and you guys knocked on that door, I need to greet you into my home. I need to tell you where the bathrooms are. My wife's got some food cooking over here. You guys want anything to drink? And I need good music playing. I need to be a good host. It's sort of my job. That's how I approach my job at a rodeo. Is I want people to come in and feel a little bit comfortable around me, but also I want to kind of push some entertainment onto them so that they don't feel just super relaxed and worried about their phones and all that. That's my trick. That's what I try to tell myself.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a pretty good analogy.
It's like us doing we're a podcast, so it's our job to ask good questions
and make people comfortable. Like, I'm very comfortable in your podcast. I feel like we don't have these mics. I think that's the game, right? It's the more comfortable people feel, the more real they'll be.
Is there any rodeo that you went to or bull riding or something where it was just like, man, I don't think I want to go back there?
Not really. The weather sometimes will make you feel like that. For me, because microphones and stuff hanging all over you. And same for you. You remember, I don't even remember any that were super muddy, but if you go to them,
Cross Arkansas.
Leave. Was it bad?
I love you guys. I love Arkansas people, fans. They're awesome. The mud there, I can't do it. if we're going to go up for 10 or 20 or 30,000 maybe, but for 3,000 or 4,000 to cross it, I'm out.
Yeah, it's not your jam.
No, sir. I mean, it's dangerous for your horse, first off, but secondly, I don't know if it's my leg strength that I'm lacking in or what, but I start trying to run down that rope in some deep mud.
Then boots get heavy.
Try to flank one of them big calves. I have hail.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that makes a real difference for a contestant. And then for me too, sometimes the kind of airports that are around and how can I travel? Because I fly a lot. I just got my 1,000th mile with Delta like 3 weeks ago. So that kind of stuff matters too. Like I do Cortez, Colorado. Love it. Like, that's a great rodeo. I took my camper last year. But when you fly there's not really an airport close, especially if you want to stick with my airline. You got to fly to Albuquerque and make like a 4-hour drive. So it never made me not want to go, but that's some stuff that you dread, the traveling sometimes.
I think a lot of people that haven't traveled that much don't think about that quite, where it could be like, let's say, Red Bluff, California. I love Red Bluff, but you got to fly to Sacramento. If you're coming from Texas, you're probably gonna have to get on a connecting flight just to get to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Then it's 2-hour drive, whatever it is. It's like, man, it's a lot different than just a Dallas to San Fran.
Rodeo is so unique too, because like Major League Baseball, they're playing 162 games, but all destination cities.
Yes.
We're playing some destination cities. We're playing
middle of nowhere.
Like San Angelo, it's a big enough city, but ain't a whole lot. You don't come to San Angelo on accident. You don't.
Hey, careful now. Careful.
No, but you don't. Like, why would you? Like, it's a great town, but like, there's no connecting flights. I'm not knocking it.
That's
I'm
pretty
right.
good. That's a pretty good reel right there.
Yeah, it's a great town. I'm so happy that I'm here. I love it.
Watch out, Cole might fight you. Watch out.
You're just wheeling in, do the event, and then you're gone. You don't even drive through here, really.
Yep.
Very much.
We're trying to boost our population up.
I know. Vote yes on the bond.
We're doing it.
Vote yes on the bond.
I'm serious about that. They don't. I hope people understand that that's really a needed thing in this community.
Can you imagine that rodeo with 10,000 people and better seats and better bathrooms and everything? The
We don't have
energy-
anywhere to change the clowns. There's other people using our bathroom. So you ever dress like a clown and stand by a 12-year-old kid at a urinal? It's weird.
It's just a public restroom.
There's one that people can get to. It's not public. They got a little gate there, but it's the only bathroom. All the judges, all the social media team, everybody has to use it because there's not another room.
You be doing an act. Pause. I'm gonna go tie 1 and 7 flat in front of 10,000 people in San Angelo. I'm gonna give them a little bit of this, and they're gonna go nuts. I can't wait.
Vote yes on the
Vote
bond.
yes on the bond.
10?
Hambo will like that.
10? Yeah, for sure. I mean, the city will like it. I mean, hopefully this comes out by the time voting happens.
May 6th.
I think early voting is the 22nd.
April
The Tuesday after
22nd.
the rodeo ends. I've heard Boyd say that.
Wow.
So we may have to bump this one up.
Might have to.
Just
Or
bump the clip.
bump this, or release the clip, yeah.
Bump the clip.
Frank, I was just about to ask something, dude.
So Fife, Alabama would be your most underrated.
Yeah, great
Place, like-
place. Townsville, Queensland, Australia. Of course, Madison Square Garden. How crazy to think that I've been in there.
Uh-huh.
Cow Palace is a unique place in San Francisco because of the history there. And then, like, you think Dickies Arena, it's the cleanest, most beautiful arena of all time I've ever been
Yep.
to. Like, it's so refreshing. Even though we're there 20-something perfs,
Mm-hmm.
feels like a new one every day.
This is what I was going to ask. We are currently here in San Angelo, Texas. How often, okay, so for the people who don't know, today is what, Tuesday?
Yes.
It is 4 o'clock in the evening, afternoon. The rodeo isn't till Thursday. Their last perf was Sunday. How many times do you just have this downtime where you're in a city doing nothing?
Over my career, it's changed. It's increasing because of rodeos like San Angelo hiring me, where I live in North Carolina. And so I was going to fly home the first week and then this week, but it's $880.
Yep.
So it's like, hey, go home and be there 2 full days, travel 2 days, and spend $900. My wife's remodeling part of the barn, so she could use that $800 or $900, and I'll sit here and Tuffy with Bar None Ranch. I'm gonna go golf with him in Sonora tomorrow. We're probably gonna go out and go fishing or something, and so I do a lot of outdoor activities. Yeah, I'm stuck. I think I did last year was nuts. I think I spent 45 nights in my bed in my house.
320
40.
nights on the road.
Yeah.
How? I mean, because obviously you've talked about it. Great family man, great dad. How do you juggle that? I mean,
Well,
is
they
that
go
difficult?
with me.
They
when
go with you a
can.
lot.
Not a lot, but they will meet each other. I'll go home for a couple of days here and there. We do some vacations throughout the year. So, like I always tell people, last year was wild. Like I was gone a lot last year, but I think a guy's an electrician, right? And he might get up in the morning and have breakfast, and then he goes to work. 12-hour day. Kids go to school. They come home from school. He gets home. They eat dinner. Kids go to bed. He might have been with his kids 2 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 hours all week. When I am with my kids, we homeschool. It's a 16-hour day. You're awake. We're together.
Mhm.
So I bet at the end of the year, I'm with my family more than it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not as much as everybody else, though. Not last year.
I mean, you can't really. I was telling him though, like you can't really have just an off night or an off week. Like if we go rope bad, yeah, we rope bad, but you have to be on a lot.
Mhm.
Like, how do you do that mentally and physically? Maybe somewhere you don't want to be or going through chemo. How do you just get ready to turn it on and bam, you're ready to go?
And I'm trying to preach to nobody, but like I pray for ability to entertain people. I truly do. I really believe that's my calling. I just want to be positive and full of joy. And there's times where I'm not, and I'm a negative guy, just like anybody else or all that. But I just try to like breathe, say my little prayer before every perf, get my head right and realize how fun my job is, go and have fun. And then there's times where you get mad at an announcer because he didn't let you talk when you wanted to, or, the music guy plays the wrong song. And then we all, like, if we're all being honest, we all have a negative side. I just try to block that kind of stuff out and not let it jump on me. Just go be, like I said, you knocked on my door, come on in, and I want to host you in my home. It's sort of keep going back to that frame of mind. I guess you're like an actor. I guess you just have to keep channeling that part of you.
Wow. I know somebody's got a lot of negative sides.
No, why'd you look at him?
Why did you?
You guys should fight. You guys should fight.
Let's draw a circle.
There's someone out there that I didn't
I'm
know
telling
about. No, him and you know what's one of my favorite videos of all time? I captured not even with one of these nice cameras. This is my iPhone. Him and Brogan Miller, his driver, in Oregon. in St. Paul, Oregon, at the contestant hospitality. They got to wrestling, and I mean, there's no one in the tent except one, lady who was helping serve the food, and him and Brogan were freaking wrestling, and it was just type of wrestling where you're like, I feel like I should step in here, but
it
I'm
might
not
get
going
to a fight.
But I'm the one videoing, so I'm not stepping in, so someone step in, and then this lady in the back, hey. But yeah, no, point being, there's been some wrestling in the group.
Brad Narducci, the music director, he does the Cowboy Mafia podcast with Lucia.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got this idea. He wants to do boxing at the NFR, like celebrity boxing.
That's
like
in right now.
Rodeo guys.
That'd
and
be
I'm
pretty
like,
good.
Brilliant. So if anybody takes that idea, it's Brad's. Just throwing it out there. I got to watch my friends
better get
back.
that.
We're gonna cut this. We're gonna cut this out of the pod, and we'll take it.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with that? I don't know. Just thought of it.
Smad Smarshmoochie is what it rhymed with,
Who's
but
that?
I'm not saying.
Some random guy told us that. No, the boxing. That's what you're talking about. You make a joke about Jake Paul and Logan Paul. I made that joke. They're freaking going to be on HBO Max. They're going to fight on Netflix and stuff. And if there are guys who love to fight, some burly old cowboys, they go wrestle a steer and then
Cow Palace, you know about that? Gary LeFew's buck and ball in the boxing matches.
Wait,
you
what?
just look that up. Gary LeFew.
I've been seeing Gary LeFew come up on my Facebook. He has some badass videos. 80-year-old
He's all
world champion
fit.
bull rider. He's all like,
Have you
those are
seen
my
the video
chicken-
of him
those
getting
are my
bit by the
chickens."
gar?
No.
Oh,
We'll have to pull it up. We need.
pull it
Hey,
up.
he's looking for our video guy, like our guy
I'm
like
pulling
Joe
it up.
Rogan and Theo Vaughn have.
Yeah, he said-
he literally
said,
is like
"Look at-
looking for our
Where's your
guy.
video
And,
guy?
hey,
I'm
it's
pulling
coming. Let's freaking rodeo is gonna have a guy. Just wait.
I'm going to pull up the Gary LeFew getting bit by a gar video.
We got to
because-
see it.
But anyway, he had the buck and ball. It was like a party in San Francisco that they would have. And I think everybody used to box back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Like even Slim Pickens, the old rodeo clown that was in Blazing Saddles, and they all boxed each other.
Really?
Yeah, for a long time. Here's a picture from the buck and ball.
Yep.
Look at this picture. It's Donnie Gay. See, I don't know who all it is. Oh, here we go. It's Don Gay, Monty, Rico Suave Henson, L.D. McConaughey. I don't know who all they are, but a few. But look, they would dress up. It was around Halloween time, and they have this huge party.
That Donnie right there.
That's rank. That's Donnie.
It was like the last rodeo of the year before the NFR standings were finalized.
This is almost like what they do in Red Bluff, almost.
Yeah, maybe so.
They do.
Have you seen that? They
oh,
do
yeah.
that? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, because I stay at, I work for Cotton and Reno for years and
Uh-huh.
Flying U. So, I mean, their houses, Reno won the Wild Ride a bunch. He's got pictures all over
Really?
his home of him dressed up in that stuff.
Man, if I could, I would pay so much money.
Oh,
to
here's the gar. And now he's cutting it up. He's bleeding all over.
God, dog.
This is him.
Bro, he popped up on my For You page.
He's
the other
been,
day.
hey, Mr. Gary LeFew, you're killing the algorithm game because you keep coming up on my Facebook. I'm going to just have to give you a follow.
80 years old, and he's
Dog.
shredded.
And he's got his
So if you're
chickens
not in
running
the
around.
bull riding game, I mean, he's a legend. He's like, he's the guru, he calls himself, but he teaches people like mental games and how to ride bulls. And, the 8 seconds, Lane Frost, that in the movie, the Lane Frost character, or Lane Frost, what am I trying to say? Luke Perry, the guy playing it, he goes, I can't believe I'm at the same bull riding as world champ. And it was LeFew.
No way. Where does he live?
California.
We got to
Jackass,
You're going
the
to have to
show?
go to California.
All the bull scenes in Jackass, they're at his ranch.
No
We-
way. He said he's
think
going to
it
live
was-
well past 100.
Yeah.
He looks like it if he's
No
80.
process stuff. I saw a video of him, I think it was yesterday. He has goose egg, or he'll eat goose eggs.
Yeah, duck eggs. I
Duck
saw it.
eggs.
Yeah.
And chicken eggs. And
That thing's got 2 million views on Facebook. Look.
But more people need to do what you're doing, Ty.
Mhm.
Ty's an athlete. You're a rodeo contestant, but you're hustling. You're out here doing a podcast. You worry about your social media. You're working. I'm sure you're hustling, trying to get sponsorship dollars
Mhm.
and caring about your image as an athlete. But you're taking it serious. Well, there's a lot of people that don't. They just pull over on the side of the road and crank the generator and have some beers instead of working on their being an athlete. And I think, people say, on my podcast, I used to do way back in the day, I said to Flint, I interviewed him, I said, man, I just want to see these guys make as much as baseball players. He goes, they ain't ready. And I'm like, almost like, Flint, why you say that? And he's like, now hang on, hear me out. And this is verbatim. I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically, if you take a pro baseball player and you look at his history, he's played T-ball, coach's pitching machine league, and then he junior high school, college, and he hasn't had time in his life to do anything else. And I promise you, he's in the gym, he's playing 162 games a year, and yeah, he's making millions, but he has sacrificed. I mean, if you take your average low-level bull rider that's got a PRCA card and hasn't won a bunch, I wonder what his days really look like. Does he have the same schedule as an MLB player, an NFL player? Because if we all had those schedules, where would we be? Call to action. Ladies, let's go. That's freaking rodeo.
That's freaking rodeo, baby. You get me fired up. I'm like, man, we got to get done with this interview so I can get to the gym. My fat ass.
I mean, the argument goes both ways, but I think whatever your path is, I'm not saying everybody's got to do gym. Everybody's got to, but devote your brain to being a rodeo star, and you can be.
I think no matter what the event, the legends are always mentally ready. Like, I can look back at the times when I didn't win. A high percentage of them was when I wasn't mentally ready to go. And I think maybe some people need a lot of practice to stay mentally ready. I think some people might not need as much practice. I don't know. I think for sure when I'm roping more, like pretty regularly, and I stay, that keeps my, because we can all rope or they can ride a bull, I'm sure, but like JB Mooney is mentally ready to go. Stetson said he don't even get on a practice, nothing. He said mental.
You see that guy though, like Stetson's a great example of just watching him. He's got a fire in him. And I give behind the chutes tours a lot. It's PBRs. And I tell people there's no human alive strong enough to ride a bull and to do well with strength. So it's not strength. It can't be. There's no way to outpower one of them. So then how are you winning? It's because you're so confident at that time in your life. And it goes away. You'll get older and you start stumbling around when you get out of bed in the mornings and your body changes and you don't have your confidence. You will not be what you were athletically. But when you believe and you're in that zone, whatever that is, and that's a pretty cool time to watch a guy's career.
Pretty cool to live, I'd imagine, too.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to
Same
be
for you. I mean,
in Stetson's shoes for one day to ride an 8-second bull and just sit there and have the eruption, you know, which, yeah.
He's a dog.
I got to do that movie, The Longest Ride, the Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood. So I got to do that movie, and I was just the clown in it, right?
Really?
Yeah, it was. We filmed it in North Carolina. It's Nicholas Sparks' book, and we filmed it out there in North Carolina. And he came up to me, random, like all of us that were there, and he's like, the scene where, I don't know if you've seen the movie. He'd just ridden the bull, and then he needed to know how to feel after he rode a bull. And I'm like, I've never done it. Like, I've not been successful, but I can only imagine, like, at the time that song, go ahead and tell everybody I'm the man. I said, I think that's probably playing in your head. I sang that to him. And then, like, it was neat to explain to someone who didn't understand.
Yeah, I
don't even know. I'd like to hear Stetson or JB or one of the legends explain what that feeling's like. I mean, you win big money. What's it like when you?
What did it feel last night?
Winning big money is an amazing feeling, but there ain't no feeling like
Angela,
like that crowd when they're just there for you, and you're just like, what you guys think about that? You came here to see that. What you think about that? I mean,
yeah.
Call, I'm telling you, I ain't right.
That's awesome.
That's goosebumps. I'm telling you,
I'm getting them too, man. Like, that's unreal.
Like,
you can't put it into what song's playing in your head, what words. I don't know.
I'm just, yeah, that's who you are. Like,
which, man, rodeo's such a humbling sport, because think about, that's the fastest run you've ever made in this arena.
I mean, let's just say this: 6 hours previously, I got the whistle for the first time I have since 2018 in front of my hometown crowd.
Yeah, you were 25 seconds.
I was 25. Their whistle blows at 25. Like, couldn't get the calf down. Couldn't get the calf tied.
You guys don't get to do something that I get to do. And it's like at Fort Worth or here, it's time for bull riding, and they're introducing the bullfighters and the lights are out. I stand there and I just try to look at every face real quick. Like, they're not looking at me. It's not my time. But I'm just like, man, I get to do this. You don't ever get to do that. I wish you could, man. I wish you could I'm sure you get a little bit behind the scenes, but I wish after you run, if I could froze time and just pulled you off your horse. I came and high-fived you. If you could have just stopped, peeled you off your horse and just let you just freaking drink it in, man. Like, what an honor, huh? Like,
What an
people
honor.
live their whole life. That electrician we were talking about earlier, they'll never know that feeling.
What an honor. It's funny you say that about watching and pausing time, because I can picture what I saw right there when I just did that. And in the moment, I was like, never forget this. You know,
Cool.
like this never, I was trying to like slow it down in my mind. Like, just never forget this. This is what, when you're sucking, or when you're doing them all night drives, or whenever you're trying to grind the practice spin and it's not going good, or this or that, just remember this. And I don't know. Pretty cool.
Which, how many go around wins did Cody Ole have? 53?
52 or 53?
52, 53. Joe Braden, he said it too. Even Cody Ole, probably the most winningest cowboy in the tie down in terms of round wins.
That's most round wins out of anybody in the PRCA history.
That's 53 60 seconds laps. So that's what, 60 minutes total of 21 years?
Oh, wow.
You know,
that's something to think about. I never thought about that.
How fleeting that time is of he's the winningest, and it's a 30-second victory lap 53 times. That's still not that much.
Out of 20 years, you're looking at.
Or think he won 53 rounds. I mean, you say the average human lives 75 years old, male.
Mm-hmm.
52 round wins. That's once a week for 1 year that he won a round. Out of 74 if he's alive on it. Think about that old man that I talked about that played for the team we're not going to name.
Mm-hmm.
He remembered this time in the sun, you know, people cheering for him.
Yeah.
We're all but a vapor.
No doubt. Also, Mr. Coffee said in Kansas City, Missouri, when 17,000 people stood up for me, I was hooked, baby.
Yeah, it's I've got some memories like that, and it's a bit contagious once you catch that bug.
That's what Click Thompson, the photographer, he said they have it rough. 7-second run, hype up the crowd for 15, 20 seconds, and all in, all done, 35 to 50 seconds. Click Thompson, he's a photographer. He's in the arena the whole time. Matt Merritt's in that arena the whole time. Put a sponsorship on my back, baby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Give me my money.
I do try to sell myself as that because it's true. I think I'm in the arena a lot, and like that's kind of one of my selling points. It's like if you get on my jersey, I don't get quite the TV time sometimes you guys do, but yeah.
Say probably close, surely, in one whole perf, I bet it's...
Yeah, well, I think it's just not focused on me fully.
Right.
Like, there's times where I feel the brakes, but there's not, like, sitting in the chute, zoomed in. Well, I guess there probably is anymore with Cowboy Channel. I don't watch a lot of it. I don't watch myself back, yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I never see other clowns either. Yeah, you do, huh? I could tell. Oh, you don't?
No. He does Cowboy Channel, but not podcasts.
Oh, I watch my runs back. I was being him joke with about it.
No, he never watches these back. And the other day, for one of our guests, we had to watch back and just make sure we, had certain things cut out and not cut out. And
we had to make sure there were some cuts made that needed to be made.
Yeah. And he's sitting there listening to himself. I've done this for 4 years, so I'm used to it.
It's tough to listen to yourself.
Oh, made me want to throw up. I think it took us 5.5 hours. I felt like I ran a marathon mentally. I'm like, God.
You get over it.
I hate listening to myself.
You'll get over it, yeah. It's part of it. Maybe that's why other people aren't trying to hustle. Maybe they just can't take it.
Mental fortitude, Matt. Mental fortitude.
Hey, that's what I say about my job. It's a fine line of being the coolest guy in the room that everybody's having fun with, or the biggest loser in the world. Like, it really is. If I start to fail and what I'm doing, you try too hard and it's not funny, and I believe me, I've had some terrible acts go bad. Like, I could tell you some funny stories about some garbage that I tried to do and it didn't work. And I'm like, oh, it's just, you talk about, I'd rather take a hooking.
I'd rather take a...
I did a deal one time.
What's the worst one you can think of?
The worst one I ever did is Galax, Virginia, the town I told you about this was a couple years in. I'm probably 2 or 3 years in, but I was wholeheartedly into this. I'm from Louisiana a bit, and I talk like that from, my name is Merritt, the Cajun from Louisiana. I faked my voice, dude.
That's not bad.
I tried my best. Back then I was a little better because I truly was from Louisiana and I'd heard it more. But anyway, I tell them that I blow up beaver dams for a living, and I have this piece of pipe. It looks like a dynamite. It's a red pipe with a real fuse in it. And I spent all day, and I've told this story before, spent all day building this bomb and wrapping it. The more tape you put around the bomb, the louder it's going to go. And I got a guy hiding in the roping box with the 9-volt battery and the wires. He's going to touch them when it's time. And I had buried it in a certain spot. So the bit was, I blow up beaver dams. I'm going to do an example for you how good I am with dynamite. And you light it, and the crowd literally sees this fuse burning. It's a long fuse, and it's burning. It's burning. Bullfighter's there with me, and he turns around, puts his ears. I'm trying to make it where you can sit. Puts his fingers in his ears, and he ducks down, and I'm like, sticking in his baggies. And then I turn around, and I put my fingers in my ears. He feels it, and he sticks it in my baggies. So this goes on as the fuse is going, and the crowd can see the fuse shortening and shortening and shortening, and it gets to the bottom, and I throw it. It's supposed to land where my bomb is buried, and then my buddy in the roping box, like he's in there pushing a calf, and he hits the button and it's going to blow up. So I throw it. First of all, I miss by like 4 feet. It's not where the bomb is. And then I'm hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. So he finally hits the button, and it goes. This little smoke geyser comes out of the ground. No explosion. Like, people maybe didn't even see this. And I just look at the bullfighter. It's done. I'm cooked. I got no way to get out of this.
There's no
and I'm
spin
like,
off of this.
Start laughing. And he's, ha, ha, ha. We're just walking out, fake laughing. And I mean, it's just, I'm laughing about it now, but I wanted to, like, eat my cowboy hat and cry.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty rough.
Oh, God.
Would you know what happened?
That was funny to me, though. I'm laughing.
Well, it is now.
They didn't know what
laughing
happened.
at me. Yeah.
I wouldn't have laughed.
It was
Like,
embarrassing.
that loser. I've heard you talk about rodeo stuff. I'm just saying.
You know you're judging clowns like you're some kind of chef.
No, never.
He
Never. Kiss cam.
The whole
That's
rodeo.
scams I'm
He
against.
judges the whole rodeo, man. I'm telling you.
You
This,
should. You. It's okay.
me
You're
included.
a connoisseur.
Tell me what you said the other night.
You guys are going to fight. I'm going to
No,
facilitate.
what did he tell? You can tell. I don't remember what
We're sitting at
I
Western
said a lot of
Sky.
stuff, so.
I go 7 flat. Buying him a steak. I mean, I'm living. He goes,
Go ahead.
he's like, I'm watching my video, and he's like, yeah, so there's kind of there's a reason why you don't get down there as fast as JB. Just JB's my brother, Joel Braden. He's like, there's a reason, like, you're just setting it up right. When he started telling me, though, when he started saying, like, there's a reason why the way you go down the rope, and I was like, yeah, man, dude, I was rolling tonight. Like, my adrenaline was pumping in front of that crowd, and I felt fast tonight. I really got down that rope. And I was in the middle of him trying to say the opposite. So there's a reason why you slow down and really set it up compared to your brother, right? And I was like, I was going as fast as possible. I looked at him. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
You thought you were blazing fast.
I thought I was
He like,
blazing
I'm
fast.
trying to-
I thought I was trying to go slow
Control.
on purpose.
I'm trying to be,
Controlled.
I watch a lot of calf roper, and I can see things. So I'm like, JB, when it's a second round calf or a short, he's down the rope fastest probably in the PRCA. And I'm sitting there telling him, I'm like, you're trying to, are you setting this calf up? Like, is that why you're going slow? Are you should set this calf up? He goes, I was going as fast as I possibly could right now. And I was like, this is
I
right
was
after,
tired when I got
I
there.
thought I blitzed him.
this is right after you won 7 flat and a head blow over cry. It's just, I had to humble him,
Yeah,
He was here and he just
and made him buy the
He
steak.
truly thought, yeah. And then
I
he
bought
felt
the
bad
steak.
enough. He bought my steak for the first time ever.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I do critique. I don't feel like I critique individual parts of rodeo, but I feel like rodeo as a whole, man, I'm a competitor. I love sports. I love competition. And dude, when the stars align, when, man, Matt Merritt's cooking, when, man, the horses are bucking, when the horses are bucking fast, when, man, it's Ty goes 7 flat or someone goes 6'9" or someone goes 6'9", Ty goes 6'8", and when all of those things align and everything's hitting, you're hitting, the sports are hitting, Boyd's hitting, it's a masterpiece. I mean,
It's so cool to see because, like, I'm a connoisseur of all the events. I like to watch good competition of any kind. Again, being my job, I do think the 2 loudest that you'll ever hear the crowd. Do you want to guess which 2 events?
Bull riding. What are you? Barrel racing.
Barrel racing and mutton busting. I know mutton busting's taboo to some people. They don't like it because it's like whatever. But I'm telling you, that mutton busting,
The mutton busting gets loud, doesn't
the
it?
crowd loves it. They'll eat it up.
well, what do you mean taboo? Why would mutton bust be taboo?
So there's people that don't like it because it's not. It's kids. It's not a pro event.
It's like an exhibition, not like a rodeo
Yeah.
event, is what he's saying.
Taboo might be a pretty strong word for it. I think there are some people. I love it. Like, as a clown, it's just like free ammo. Like, come on, let's buck the sheep. It's fun. But there's, yeah, like bring them on. I love it. But I think there's people that would rather not have it because they're true fans of traditionalists and they want to see you tie down rope. They want to see good bulls, good horses, all that.
Yep.
But hey, the crowds eat it up.
So that's your favorite event? That was my
But then
last
barrels.
question.
It's the only one I could do. So yeah. Then barrel racing is pretty easy because it's like there's a clock on the wall. And that girl just ran in here and went, I see that clock stopped when she got through. So, it's a race. It's just that quick to understand. Bull riding is like my daughter was in gymnastics. And every time she would compete in any event, I'm like, she should be a 10. She did great. And she'd be like a 6'5", you know? Well, that's how bull riding is for people. I don't know crap about gymnastics, just like they don't know bull riding. So they just see a guy ride them and the bull across the pen and they're on their feet. And it's like 65 points. And they're booing, you know. So
it's pretty, like you said though. It's pretty easy for anybody to get involved and to stay interested. I mean, you're looking for a wreck or for the cowboy to ride 8 seconds. You're cheering for the rider or the bull. You know, not all the little different.
I just think barrel racing is the most simple to understand.
Yeah. I think I would one day, if I ever was a stock contractor, I'd get the 10 Rankis bucking suckers and then like that. When them horses are bucking crazy, I love watching that, man. There would be no judge.
The riders would hate
It would be
you.
last man standing.
Let them go.
Like
open 10 shoots at once.
That's not where I was going, but I like that.
I like it.
I like that.
We're working now.
That could be good. Open all 10 shoots at once, and the last one to stay red or stay on.
That'd be rank.
That kind of would be a good idea.
That's probably how rodeo probably started, huh? Like, hey, my guy from this ranch over here rides better than your guy. And I got some rank horses. Let's see. And they probably just said, run 2, 3, open the gates.
They probably got the one rankest horse and see who can ride him
the longest.
Yeah. I mean, who knows how
with
they
their
did
buddies
it.
are sitting around drinking beer. Mr. Merritt, thanks a
probably
lot.
gotta get to the
Thanks
finish.
for having us.
No, I'm good.
Go catch you some gar, man.
I'm not going to. I think they're closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they close at 4:30.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that.
No, they close at 10, actually, but you can't get in after 4:30.
Man, I'm sorry
I was
about
doing
that.
it just to kill time. That's not.
Well, come on.
That's freaking rodeo.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.